Welcome back. This is Pharma Careers, clear role breakdowns, practical skills, and step-by-step career roadmaps.
All right, so you've just finished your B.Pharm. First off, congratulations. But now what? You've got the degree in hand, but landing that first job can feel like you're just wandering through a maze with no map, right? Well, trust me, you are not alone. And today, we're going to draw that map for you, step by step. Let's start by figuring out what the real problem even is.
And this right here, this quote absolutely nails it. I mean, how many times have you heard someone say, "Oh, the market is just so bad right now"? We all have. But what if that's not the real story? What if the problem isn't the number of jobs, but the way you're trying to get them? That's what we're going to tackle today. We're going to fix your strategy.
So here's our game plan. It's a simple, four-part roadmap. First, we'll talk about the direction problem. Then, we'll cover how to pick a track and actually prove you belong there. Third, we'll get into targeting your professional story. And finally, we'll dive into what I call the compliance first interview. Let's get into it.
Okay, section 1, the real direction problem. Let's talk about why just applying to everything you see online is a recipe for disaster. Here's a secret you need to understand. Pharma companies are not looking for generalists straight out of college. No way. They need specialists, people who can plug right into a very specific workflow and get going. That mismatch? That's what we're here to solve.
And this is probably going to sound super familiar, right? It's the classic spray and pray approach. You apply for a quality assurance job on Monday, a quality control job on Wednesday, and then hey, why not a pharmacovigilance job on Friday? And what happens? Crickets. Rejection. You're left thinking, man, the market must be terrible. But look at it from the hiring manager's side. If you're applying for everything, it looks like you're not really ready for anything specific.
All right, enough about the problem. Let's get to the solution. Section 2, pick a track, build proof. This is your path to becoming the specialist they want to hire. Honestly, the whole game changes the moment you stop being a generalist. It all starts with two really simple things. First, you gotta pick a lane. And second, you have to create some real, tangible proof that you belong in that lane. So how do we do that? Let's start with a really simple diagnostic question for you. Be honest, do you actually like being in a lab? Working with instruments, getting hands-on with the analytical side of things. If you're nodding your head and thinking, yeah, that's totally me, then your path is probably pointing straight towards the quality control or QC track.
Okay, but maybe the lab scene isn't your thing, and that's perfectly fine. So what if you're the kind of person who geeks out on documentation, on systems, and making sure all the rules are followed to the letter? The world of compliance? Well, then you're probably looking at some amazing roles in quality assurance, regulatory affairs, or even pharmacovigilance.
And then there's path number 3. What if you're a people person? Like, your real superpower is talking to people, communicating complex ideas, and building relationships. If that sounds like you, then you should seriously be looking at people-facing roles, maybe in sales or, down the line, medical affairs. The key here is to just be honest with yourself and pick one. Commit to a direction.
Now, once you've picked your track, we get to this awesome idea of proof. And let me be super clear. This is not about faking experience you don't have. Not at all. It's about showing you understand the process. It's about being proactive. So if you're targeting QA, you could create a mock CAPA plan format. That's a corrective and preventative action plan. For PV, a sample ICSR. That's an individual case safety report, using dummy data, of course. This kind of thing screams to a recruiter, hey, I've done my homework. I get what this job actually involves.
All right, section 3 is where it gets fun. You've picked your track, you've built some awesome proof, so now what do? Well, you've got to sell it. It's time to package all that up and create a professional story that advertises your chosen specialty to every single recruiter who glances at your profile.
And wow, look at this. This comparison says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got what basically 90% of graduates write, B.Pharm graduate seeking opportunity. It's fine, I guess, but it's so vague. Now look at the right, B.Pharm targeting, QA associate GMP compliance. Boom. It's targeted, it's confident, it does the recruiter's work for them, it says, I know exactly what I want, and you should talk to me about this job. The difference is just night and day.
And this goes for your LinkedIn profile too. Think of your LinkedIn as your 24/7 marketing machine. First, your headline has to match your targeted resume headline, period. Second, that about section, keep it short and specific. It's not your life story, it's your elevator pitch. This is the job I want, here's my proof, let's talk. And number 3, this is huge. Pin those sample projects right to the top of your profile so people can't miss them.
So let's just forget about sending out 300 random applications. Instead, I want you to focus on just 30, but 30 perfectly targeted applications. And then you become a scientist. You track your results. Are you getting 0 callbacks? Okay, the problem's your resume. We need to fix that story. Are you getting interviews but no offers? Okay, then we know we need to work on your interview skills. See, this way you're not just guessing, you know exactly what to fix.
Okay, for this last section, I need you to listen very closely. I'm going to take off my host hat for a minute and put on my Pharma hiring manager hat. I've been on the other side of that interview table for a long time. And I'm going to tell you exactly what goes on inside our heads and what we are truly looking for when you're sitting in that chair.
This is the absolute golden rule. If you remember one thing, remember this. We do not want you to sound brilliant. We want you to sound reliable. We are not hiring a creative genius to reinvent our processes. We are hiring a safe pair of hands to follow a highly regulated system without deviation. Your job is not to innovate on day one. Your job is to execute the procedure correctly, every single time. Frankly, brilliance can be a risk. Reliability is our most valued asset. You have to understand that our entire industry, everything we do, is built on 2 pillars: patient safety and regulatory compliance. That is it. So, the candidate who demonstrates a deep, fundamental respect for the established process, that is always the candidate who gets the offer. Always. We hire the person who asks for clarification before they act, not the one who takes a risk and hopes for the best. So, when we give you a hypothetical question, something like, what would you do if you found a deviation? This is the 4-step checklist your brain needs to run through in this exact order. 1. How does this impact patient safety? 2. What is the compliant, by-the-book procedure? 3. How do I document every single action I take? And 4. At what point do I escalate this to my supervisor? If your answer ticks those 4 boxes, you have just proven that you are reliable. Okay, hiring manager hat is off, host hat is back on. Let's bring this all home. Your winning strategy, starting today for the next 30 days, boils down to these 3 simple steps. Number 1, pick one track. Just one. Number 2, build some of that tangible proof we talked about. And number 3, present one single, clear story across your resume and LinkedIn. That's the whole plan. And here's the best part. Just by doing this, by simply being focused and strategic and disciplined, you will literally put yourself ahead of 90% of the other graduates out there. While everyone else is still playing the spray and pray game, you'll have a clear, targeted plan. This is how you stop feeling lost and start taking real control of your career search. So, I'll leave you with this one final question. We've laid out the map. The path is clear. Now the only thing left to do is to take that first step. Which specific track will you choose? What proof are you going to start building this week? Is it QC, QA, pharmacovigilance? The choice is yours. Now go make it happen.
If this helped, like and subscribe. Watch the next video in Pharma Careers for the next role breakdown.